Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do this video because I used to have a lot of questions about how my partner and I should budget. I know there's a lot of people out there who may be like just getting married and don't really know how to go about their finances yet with their partner. And I know I had a lot of questions, so I am excited to be making this video for y'all. There are a lot of different views on this, but I just wanted to share what has worked for me and my partner. So basically we each get paid bi-weekly. Let's say that Jake gets paid $3,000, I get paid $2,000 bi-weekly. These get deposited straight into our personal checking accounts, and these are the accounts that we draw funds from for our joint account. Our joint account funds a number of things, including our auto pay for our mortgage, our auto pay for our bills, things we spend together, like groceries, fast food or dinner that we might have together, and any expenses for the house or for whatever that are for both of us, as well as our joint savings. In order to find the numbers for our budget, I went over our joint spending account for the past 4 months and categorized the spends by type, and then set a realistic budget for each of these categories based on our previous spending. So this is a good way to set a budget for yourselves. Look at your past spending, make an average of it, and then set a realistic expectation for yourselves. So as you can see here, I wrote down all of our expenses for groceries. So in November we spent $394, in October we spent $242, in September we spent $184, December $182. We did the same thing for fast food. I love to eat out. I can't help it. Usually it's just Wendy's, but whatever. And that's the budget for that. Transportation, that was gas. Sometimes it was a few other things that have to do with our car, maybe like new tires, things like that. That came out to $91. Shopping came out to $551 a month, crazy. $807 1 month, $350, $376. Now keep in mind that we had just moved into a new house, and so we were buying a lot of things for the house in order to fill it and, you know, make it a home. So I averaged it out and it was $496, and I think a more realistic spending, since we're not moving anymore, is $300. So I decided $300 budget for that. Then was bills. So this is how much our bills came out to for the past few months. I don't know if this is a lot or a little. I don't know anything about bills. I just know how to pay them. And I guess $180 for our bills, the budget. So these are the numbers that I'm going to pull from for my budget. And these are like the numbers that we decided to keep ourselves under. So basically I then added these numbers all together, and it came out to $910. So basically what we have decided to do is, on top of our mortgage payment, we add on half of this from each of our funds. Now I'm going to tell you what isn't in the budget. So Jake and I decide how much money we each keep for our personal spending. I've decided that $400 is at my discretion to spend each paycheck. And I also have a $530 monthly payment to pay off one of my debts, which is almost done, very exciting. And a $10 game subscription. So that's like basically what I spend my personal money on. So I keep that money for myself in my personal capital checking account. If you don't know what capital is, I highly recommend looking into it. I have a link down below that you should definitely check out. It comes at a fee, but I have saved hundreds and thousands at this point of dollars on it. And it's like a $60 fee or something like that. So I keep that money for myself, and you can see all of this breakdown on my other budget video, so I'll send you there. I'll link it somewhere up here, and you can watch that, and you can see how I actually spend those $400 and things like that. And then the rest of the money that I get in a paycheck, I send to the joint account, and that all sums up to however much I get paid. So now I definitely don't spend $400 on myself every 2 weeks. So a good chunk of that ends up going to my personal savings, which Jake doesn't have access to. Jake also has his personal checking and his personal savings. And that's money for myself, you know, like maybe savings for just in case Jake leaves me and runs off somewhere and I need to take care of myself, or savings for maybe I want to get my lips done. I don't want to get my lips done, but maybe I want to get my lips done, and I'm saving up personally to get some lip filler. Who knows? I don't know. No, I'm not gonna get my lips done. But that's what my personal savings is. So I don't really know what Jake's budget is. I don't think he like actually has a set budget. He's just good with money, and he has his personal funds that he decides for himself how much he keeps. I don't know. I think it's a lot more than $400 just because he doesn't have any debt to pay off. But he also puts a lot into savings, and I haven't really asked to see it because he's really good with money. And he doesn't really inquire into mine. We both like made responsible decisions about how much we each want to spend personally for ourselves, and we kind of left it at that. Other couples may need to be more hands-on in each other's budgets, I guess, in order to manage their financial health, but that's not the case for us. Also, another note, as you can see, I pay for my own debt. There have been times where Jake has helped me with my debt because I came with more student debt and also more credit card debt. There's been points where Jake has helped me with this, but I have decided to pay this off myself. I am almost finished, and I get paid more than he does, so it makes sense for me to take all of this, even though we're married. We have decided this is what works for us. For other couples, it may be beneficial to throw your money together and put it all towards the debt, no matter whose debt it is, and that's also a great idea. So I'm going to show you my budget now. Let's take a look. So this is our budget. You can find this down below in the description box. I have a link to a template of this that you can use. You can use it by going to File and then hitting Make a Copy and then creating one for yourself. This version is not editable so that other people can use it as well. But anyway, let's get started. So, as you can see, budget. January 1st budget. So this is basically the budget I set for myself based on averaging out all those numbers and deciding how much I wanted to spend on everything. So in order to make this work out, Jake and I decided that we each have to put in $1,752 per month. So we're splitting this halvesies, even though I get paid a little bit more than him. We're splitting it halvesies because he has some extra income, and I think he probably gets paid as much as I do with that extra income. And then we each also add $150 on top of that specifically for savings. So on the first of every month, we at least have $3,804. $2,524 of that goes to our home payment. Then for groceries, $250, fast food, $100, transportation, $80, shopping, $300, we love to shop, bills, $180, savings, $300, as mentioned. I have $70 here, so I've stick that in maybe savings. So that's our budget. And like I said, these numbers were built out of these numbers. So like I said, we looked at our past spending, we averaged it out, and then we came up with a realistic number for ourselves for spending. And I think that's a good way to come up with a number for yourself, how to spend. So now how do I make this work? So let's say on January 15th, I'll pull our spending from our account, and sure enough, Jake and I each put this much already into our account. And we did in fact pay this much to our mortgage. It is taken out automatically. I love auto pay. You should definitely sign up for it so you don't forget any payments. Let's say after I look through everything, for groceries we ended up spending $283 because we ended up hosting a dinner and things came out to be more expensive. For fast food, we managed to chill the F out and we only spent $82 on it. For transportation, we spent $80 even. Shopping went a little hard because of Christmas, $340. Bills came out to $180. And unfortunately for savings, we were only able to put $315. But that equaled it out, and it also gives me a look at what I need to work on next month. So what I like to do when I go over is I like to turn it red. You can also code this in, but I haven't done this on this template, and I think it might complicate things for y'all. Relax. Okay. So as you can see, I turn these red so I can remember and look at it and be like, I messed up, y'all. So now I know that in the future that I need to change that. So now let's say that So in the next month, I would probably go again with $250 in the grocery section and just try to hit it this time because we just did have some extra events. For shopping, I would again try to stick with $300. And I guess for fast food, I knew I could get it down to $82, so maybe I can get it down to $80. So maybe for next month, I'll change my budget to make it $80 for fast food, and then add more to savings or something like that. So that's what my budget looks like with Jake. This is what we're doing this month. I will keep you guys updated, hopefully with like monthly videos on how we're actually doing. These aren't the real numbers because it is currently the 10th and I haven't looked at it. But let's just imagine a budget for another couple. Okay, so now let's say that you're a couple that wants to put your money together after you get married, and you want all your direct deposits to go into your joint account and y'all don't really have separate accounts. That's what some couples decide to do. So let's say this person gets paid $2,200, and then this one gets paid $1,600. So that comes out to $3,000, $3,800. I cannot see. So let's say their rent comes out to $1,500 because they live in an expensive city, but not that expensive of a city. Grocery, let's say they don't like to cook much, you know, they don't really cook much, which is not great, but you know, whatever. Fast food, they eat out a lot. So let's say that's $300, they need to chill out. Transportation, they take the metro, they each fill their metro card with $50 every 2 weeks, so that's $100. Shopping, oh no, let's pretend they have debt. Everyone has debt. Not everyone. Y'all who don't have debt are lucky. And their debt comes out to $430 to $423 a month. And then they also like to travel, so they put a little bit away for that, you know? So $200 away for that. And then savings is $257. So this might be what a budget looks like for someone else, like maybe a couple who decided to join their bank accounts and that's what works for them, that's what makes them happy, and they kind of just try to keep under this, you know, like no one has more permission to spend more money or other, but maybe that'll happen. I like the use of these separate bank accounts because it allows me to have more agency with my money, and it allows us to trust each other more, and we're not just like eyeing each other all the time, like you spent more on this and I spent less on this, and you're overspending, and like watching each other's every move. I like to be able to have my own agency with the money I make and also contribute to our future, and that our system allows us to do that, but I know this works for a lot of people. So I guess they would have cards to both of their accounts, and then cards to their joint account, and they would spend that way. I would recommend that one person in the partnership at least stays really active in checking this. I highly recommend both do. It's really great if both members of the relationship are able to understand their money and understand how much they're spending and make decisions for their future. So let's say this is their budget, and sure enough, they get paid this much. And let's say the partner two is an aspiring YouTuber. He's trying to make some more money. He got a sponsorship for $100. So this month he made $1,700. So exciting. Home payment, sure enough, was $1,500. Grocery, maybe they decided to like eat at home a little bit more, you know? So they spent $120. Fast food dining came out to $483. They still went wild on that. Transportation, sure enough, was $100. Shopping was $624, and they wilded out there. The bills came out a little lower this time, so maybe it was $89. Debt, sure enough, they had to pay $423. Travel, $200, and their savings, they were able to add $361 to their savings. Okay, so this is their budget. These people would also highlight the numbers that they went over in red. That's what I would recommend. And this is maybe a partner, a couple who use their joint money. Another couple may not need to use this budget at all. Maybe they keep their finances totally separate in two separate checking accounts. And the way that they pay rent is for one to Venmo the other. There's a lot of different relationships nowadays, and people handle finances in all kinds of different ways. There's none that's right or wrong. It's just different and it works for each couple in a different way. But that's how I budget. So Jake and I like to have a joint account, but also our separate checking and savings accounts. That is what works for us. And if you have any questions on that method or how it has worked out for us, if we have fights over finances or anything like that, feel free to comment down below and I can answer your question. But like I said, it's worked out quite well for us.